Hello and welcome to Blue Garden Cottage. It's another lovely opportunity to meet with you and have you visit with me here on my channel. And if you haven't been here before, I'm Cindy. Nice to meet you. I hope you find something in this video that you would like. Here at Blue Garden Cottage, if you're not familiar with it, we are a suburban homesteading garden and cottage. Over here we grow as much as we possibly can between the front garden as a forest / cottage garden, the back garden as a veggie garden, potager, tiny apple orchard and a veranda and a potting shed with our workshops where we make crafts, and in our home where we live as frugally as we possibly can, and in all we do we try one step at a time to get closer to a more environmentally sensitive way of living. Today I wanted to share with you what we've been doing in the garden, some of the harvests we've collected, and some of the problems that I've dealt with in the garden. Still lots of bloom in the garden. Wonderful bee flies and bees and butterflies and bumblebees of all kinds and hoverflies still all about the garden. I haven't done a huge amount since the last video last month, but I have preserved a jar full of gherkins. Oh, the colour's not very good on this, is it, today? And I've been pruning a lot and clearing out and sorting quite a few things with lots of small little harvests, more like foraging, because I've got what I needed from the garden as and when I needed it, rather than getting lots and storing it. Though I have done that with the aronia berries and some courgettes, as I told you last time. Still picking from them. Don't know for how much longer because the plant's not so good now. But you can tell around the garden that autumn is coming. Leaves are turning, and all around wherever we drive you can see the yellowing of the leaves now. It says autumn is on its way, well and truly. So I have taken the opportunity while it's been dry weather, because very soon it won't be, and I have cut back the apple trees, seeing that they're already starting to turn and they have no fruit this year, to where I wanted the branches to go, so that I could train this into a lovely arched gazebo type shape. So there are still ones I've had to leave side shoots so that they will grow out to match the opposite side. Some I've had to cut off because they'd broken and snapped, so I will again wait for that one to grow to join this one, and then that one there will be cut off so that I can join them. And then obviously there are those on that side that will be joined together as they grow, and all the way around. And here is our one and only apple that survived the storms in the early year, and you can tell it's already full of the corking. I can't remember what causes the corking. I shall let you know next time when we cut it open. You probably already know. If you do, please let me know in the comments section below. Oh, so yeah, I'm really glad to still have some buddleia at least flowering, because the butterflies are still coming to that. I found a very special caterpillar today, and it's disappeared. I tried not to disturb it and it has vanished somewhere. I can't find it. So let's hope it's found somewhere to hide, and then we have more beautiful butterflies next year. Things are obviously going on there. Seeds on the chard are ripening nice now. They're dried practically, so I can harvest those seeds and put them away. And we even still have blossoms in place. The sweet peas are coming to the end, but I am leaving them to go to seed for next year. And as I said, the courgette, it's just doing really, really well. And we've harvested quite a lot off them, but there is damage on it there, so it is rotting away, and I'm sure it won't last much longer. I'm still harvesting off that kale at the back there, but I just pick little bits off it. I don't want to over harvest it and keep it going. It's already more than 2 years old now. It's the third season I've had stuff off that, but it keeps going. As you can tell, the tomatoes are gone there as well. The blight has well and truly got hold. I did rescue some of the tomatoes off the plant though, so let's hope they ripen before any blight gets to them. I'll show you them in a minute. The parsnips I've also been harvesting. I've also been harvesting parsnips over the past week. Some have gone into the freezer. We've used some. There are some butternut still surviving. I have transferred the asters into this because it was an empty bed, and the remaining to lettuce and some of the green teasel heads that hadn't ripened yet, so I didn't want seeds everywhere, but I wanted some slug protection, and they seem to be doing a really good job because those 2 lettuce have been surviving. I've harvested quite a lot of them today for dinner because we actually had some food from the garden in our supper tonight. It was really nice to be able to do that. So I'll show you some of those harvests now. Others have been dealt with and put away. The tomatillos looking really good, and some of them have already filled their husks, and they're not very big at all. They do, you don't normally get much bigger than that. When they start splitting their husks, apparently they're already, some people say when the husks start to go brown, because it is of course a relative of Cape gooseberries, and Cape gooseberries aren't ready until the husks turn brown. So I'm hoping to leave these on for as long as possible, you know, because some of them they haven't filled their husks yet. So we'll see. I mean, the Cape gooseberries never really fill their husks, but they ripen. So we'll see how they go. There's lots of them. Oh, that one is well and truly full. That's going to split its husk soon. There you are. So anyway, here are some of the harvests. Some of the tomatillos. I harvested these because the husk was full and starting to split. There you go. And they are sticky on the inside of the husk, just like Cape gooseberries. Some of the tomatoes that I harvested from the blighted plants today, you can tell they were starting to turn and colour, and just when they were starting to turn and colour and start ripening, I had to chop the plants down. So of the tomatoes we had there, we had some yellow pear starting to ripen, some Roma plum, not quite the size they should be, but they were growing, and some of the beefsteak ones not ready yet. So I'm hoping if I take all of the plant material off, this cannot go in the compost because it came off the plant that had blight. That will go in the green bin because it cannot go in the compost. But if I take the plant matter off all of them, hopefully they'll have a chance to ripen before blight spreads, because any plant matter left on the tomatoes will just hasten the blight. So hopefully we have them ripe before anything goes blighted. So they'll all go on windowsills and ripen soon. I harvested the last of the borlotti beans because most of them are dry and some of them are still drying, but the slugs have just been demolishing them. So I thought I'd rescue what I could while I could, and just a couple of the courgettes I harvested today. So it was lovely to be able to do that, and some of that. So in the supper we made a stuffing with some grated courgettes and carrots and onions and some oats and some crumbled up smoked tofu, and what else we put in there? Lots of seasonings. Really lovely just to be able to sit in the garden. I've been busy with crafting today, been painting the panels for the doll's house. Done a bit of gardening and tidying up, and obviously having sorted out all the apple trees, I had to sort out all the branches I cut off yesterday. Yeah, it was a painful one. In the last 2 weeks, I've had so much pain in my right wrist And I knew I've got arthritis. It's been confirmed that I have arthritis, but I haven't really had any foods that would have triggered it, the pain. So I was a bit confused as to why my arthritis was hurting so much. I just thought, oh wow, it's just one of those things. And then yesterday, while cutting the unwanted branches off the apple trees, the pain was hurting again, and I'd been getting extreme shooting pain through the whole of the muscles and tendon in my arm from my wrist. And I thought, okay, so as I'm pruning with the secateurs, the pain is there, and I think it's from repetitive strain because I'm doing the same thing and using quite a lot of pressure to cut with those secateurs. So it's more than likely RSI in my wrist. I'll just keep putting warm things on it and support it. I don't have a wrist support. The one I have is a bit too tight, so it just cuts circulation. So I just keep it warm, keep stretching and doing the physio I'd had before in the past, and just let my body heal itself and keep up with eating wholesome foods and let my body do the work it's supposed to do and fix it and ease off of the secateur work for a change. So I did switch when that happened. I did switch to the loppers instead, and I just stripped all the leaves off the branches. That went into the compost, and then the sticks, the branches left from that, I will just shred up and put that in the compost. Yeah, so yeah, been very busy. It's been good to get things done. We've lost a couple of the butternut squash. I don't think we're going to get any, maybe 2 if we're lucky. All the others are falling off, even though they've been fed, they've been watered. Not too much water because it's been very, very dry, and they're not wilting, so they're not too wet, not too dry. So I think it's just that there's just not enough sunlight and it's funny temperatures. It's just one of those things. But yeah, I'm really grateful that even with all the obstacles we've had in the garden this year, all the setbacks, all the late plantings, all the slug destruction and some of the diseases, we're still getting stuff out the garden. So I'm really grateful for that. Oh, we had some of the potatoes out the garden as well tonight. I boiled some of the potatoes I dug up out the bed. And I said we've had leaves to make salad, the potatoes, and then the stuffing I made with the vegetables and the tofu, and it was really, really very nice. I even used some of the calendula petals and a little bit of rocket, all sorts from the garden, just to bulk up what was left of the pathetic bit of lettuce left in the fridge. Yeah, so even when there's not much in the cupboards in the fridge, I can still come to the garden and find something to make a meal out of it. And it was very satisfying, very enjoyable, and comforting. So there you go. Oh, and as to what I was talking about in last week's video, there is still progress. I've moved further. I have done a few things, but I can't tell you just yet. You just got to wait a little longer. But I'll tell you soon. I'll reveal all very soon. Right, people, the light is fading and I need to go out. But I shall see you very soon again. Look at these lovely zinnias. I shall see you very soon again. It'll be lovely to chat with you next video. And there you are. The garden at the beginning of September. Today being the first day of September. By the time you get this, it'll be the second day of September. Children will be back at school soon. Our grandchildren anyway. But most children will be back at school next week. I have claimed back Monday through Wednesday as working days. So I should be able to achieve a bit more, having claimed back and put my foot down and said, nope, Monday through Wednesday are work days. Do not disturb. I am working on something yet to be revealed. And of course all the other stuff to do with the garden and the home. All that goes on in a homesteading cottage garden and home. So yeah, very busy. I don't want to keep going on and on and on. The nights are getting longer, days are shorter, it's colder at night. There hasn't been much sunshine at all this week. It's been overcast and cloudy, and it feels autumnal. So we know autumn is well and truly on its way. It is, I don't know, it's that apprehensive time of year where you're going from one season to another. You don't want to say goodbye to the summer because we haven't really had enough summer. It never feels like we've had enough summer. Autumn's coming, and it means, you know, longer nights, colder days, gardens looking barer, and winter on the way. But along with winter comes some pretty special times. It's a lovely time of cozying up. It's a time of celebration. So I am going to adjust my apprehension into excitement. It's a new season come in. And make the most of it all. Not having had to make many changes and preparations for the winter through the summer, as I usually like to do earlier in the year, get ready for winter, to make preparations in the home and the garden. So usually this time of year I'm preparing for the next season, in the garden, the home, especially when it comes to food storage and, you know, the water butts, the composters, everything that needs to be put ready and waiting for painting and fencing, all those sorts of things that most people do. And then making sure that I change where there's lighter curtains in the house, change for heavier ones. Yeah, all of those things. So it's the preparation time of the year for us. It usually is much earlier than this, but you know what this year has been like. It's been... So, yeah, we're going to carry on with the preparations for winter. Hopefully, we'll be able to get lots more prepared and be able to face winter saying, you know, it doesn't matter. It's okay. Whatever the weather and the season brings, we'll be fine. So that's my message to you this week. Whatever the weather throws at you, whatever the season brings, do all you can to prepare for what you know you usually get of the season in your area, and then you can just amble through it without too much stress. Although globally people are experiencing things that are not normal, so do what you can and find peace in it. Oh, there's something else. Harvested some of the zinnias from the garden this week, and a little buddleia flower that fell off. It broke off in my hand accidentally, and it was a perfectly good and beautiful one. So I put it in just an old bottle instead of throwing them out. Is that something pretty in the house? A little nice by the side of the chair. Just something pretty from the garden in the house. And I'm looking out of the window into the front garden. And the gladioli have gone over now. There's the front garden for you. It's still lush, green and full. Even though the aronia berry bushes have been given a prune. And the wisteria travelling right the way along the fence now. So it's looking good still, even though it's that time of year. I shall harvest some more of the green seed heads from the teasel to save for slug repellent around my veggie seeds. Well, it's been lovely to catch up with you and to share what we've been doing with you. I hope you found some value in this video at all. And if so, do let me know in the comments section below. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share if you would. Next week's video is a homemaking video, because obviously if you're not familiar with this channel, each month is divided up into 4 sections of the things that we do here. First week, gardening, the garden. Second week is homemaking. Third week is crafts. And the fourth week, something to do with self-reliance. So I share with you what we're doing in each of those weeks. Every day we do a bit of everything. right then. Take care, folks. I shall speak to you next week.